As a projector in a generator world, it is so easy to feel like you are pushing the river upstream, trying to make progress only to get burned out and tired along the way. In this video, I want to reveal 5 projector tips for how to move through life with ease. Welcome to Frequency of Self, your go-to resource for the practical application of human design in life, business, and relationships. If you're ready to experience lasting transformation, hit subscribe. I'm Amanda Horvath, a 4/1 splenic projector, and I discovered human design in May of 2020 and have dove very deep into it ever since. I learned directly from someone who learned from Ra himself, and in this video, I'm actually going to be pulling her in via a talk that her and I gave together to really break down some core tips of how to be a projector in a generator world. Now, my teacher, Barbara Ditlow, has been in human design for over 25 years, and she herself is also a projector. So the advice that you're going to be getting in this video is coming from 2 projectors, projector to projector, giving you advice on how to live a life of ease. And let me tell you, when you embrace the tips that I'm going to give you, you will suddenly begin to feel the weight drop off your shoulders. That is what I want for you. Tip 1, honor your sensitivities. As projectors, we have what we call a focused and absorbing aura. We are absorbing the energy that is around us. And this happens in all of the white centers or big shapes within our chart. This is where you are receptive to energy. And understanding that you have this sensitivity to what is around you is the first step in being able to transcend it. And the way that you work with this is really getting clear on what your traps are to begin with.
So a projector, the most dangerous thing for you is to not to be aware how open you are. We're the most conditioned by any other type. We're very open, so we can be very reactive. When you're conditioned by the sacral energy, you can get really exhausted by it. The nervous system can get very exhausted because then you really think, I can do this, I can do this, I can pick up my kids at 5, I can make meals, and you really believe that until there's a strange illness that you get.
As Barbara previously described, she was talking about the sacral center, which all projectors are going to have undefined within their chart. They will be absorbing the energy of the generators of the world. This includes manifesting generators as well, which makes up 70% of the population. Likely your mom, dad, siblings, husband, or kids have this, or colleagues. And so you are going to be pulling in that sacral energy, thinking that you can go, 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 go. This is going to look different based on all of the centers. So for example, the emotional center, the solar plexus, when you pull in other people's emotions, you're an empath. You're going to take it in and it's gonna feel 10 times more intense than it might feel in their body. And you don't like it. And so you end up swaying your decision-making process and how you move through the world, which ends up leading you off track. Ultimately, your sensitivity is a gift because you're able to feel so deeply, because you're able to sense what is in the environment, you are able to guide those around us. So how do you stop yourself from getting swept up with your sensitivity and actually step into that guide role? The way that you're going to do this is by working with the 9 center questions. You want to look at whichever centers you have white within your chart and ask the associated question with it when you are around other people or just when moving through your day. To dive deeper into the topic of centers and what theme is associated with each one and how to work with that energy, I highly recommend grabbing my 9 centers guide linked in the description below. It's totally free and mega valuable. Tip 2, don't force transformation. Have you ever had the feeling that things should move faster than they should? Maybe a bitterness inside as you look at other people that started something at the same time as you, but they have seen success faster than you have? This is very normal to experience as a projector, and it can often bring about a feeling of bitterness. Well, whenever we're feeling that feeling of bitterness, it's just a sign that we are actually off track. And that's because we are attempting to do things in the way that everyone else attempts to do things, all the generators of the world. Well, you, my friend, are a projector. You're not a generator. And so you're going to do things differently. And your transformation to a life of ease is going to look very different than you'd expect. To illustrate this point, I'm going to play a clip of Barbara, who is going to break down where she was before she found Human Design, her interaction with the founder of Human Design himself, as well as the transformation that unfolded after it. Your description of your day before you found Human Design.
Yes.
What was that like?
I got up at 8 o'clock and I managed a construction site. I would renovate homes before 1900 in Connecticut. These are $1 million, $2 million homes. I would be on site. I would speak with all the contractors. And then at 12 o'clock, I teach my Bikram yoga class from 12 to 1:30. Then I would change and I would go to back then, we would have floor duty in real estate. And in the evening, I'd take clients around, late afternoon or evening. And then if I could plunge in the pool and do a mile swim, I would do that. And so I was a top realtor, and I had some of my homes in national magazines. And I just felt I could do everything.
And then you had a conversation with Ra, and he told you.
He said, "You're cute." He said, "You're gonna," he said, quote, "you were going to have to give that all up." And I said, "Well, what does that have to do about money?" He said, "Figure it out." He was very clear. He said, you're going to have to give it all up. So when I began to give, they let go of me. I didn't give them up. They let go of me. And as they let go of me, there was a greater sensitivity and attunement to frequencies, to energies. I wasn't the energy bunny, and I wasn't accomplishing things. I was more aware of frequencies and people, and I could read people more, and I could know when, oh, Barbara, you got to rest. There's something going on in your body. Didn't help with Bikram because, I take classes on top of it. So it just changed the whole energy frequency where my world is totally different. And what was interesting, I did well in real estate, but I can see that my best thing is human design, and that's what Ross said it would be. He said, you got to give it all up. He said, it was interesting. He said, the only thing that you have to be aware of is you're designed to be fatigued by people. So you have to be very discerning. It took me probably 7 years to really accept that. But then my body just couldn't continue with that pace.
The part that I really want you to understand or hone in on within this clip is that you do not need to make any direct changes to your life. Things are going to naturally fall away as you begin to let go of the traps that we talked about in part 1 of this video. Now, when you begin letting go of these traps, your inner voice is going to get a lot louder and decisions will start to become a lot clearer. You're going to see what is aligned and what is not aligned. And you're going to find that the energy you used to have to be able to do activities that were misaligned is no longer there. This is not an overnight transformation. So learning to really embrace the pace of this transformation will absolutely serve you. That way, when you see someone that's having success in something at the same amount of time that you've had, you don't experience bitterness. Instead, you look at it and say, great, that's great for them. It matches their energy. But for me, I'm going to do it differently. And because it's taking me longer, I'm going to find a path that really feels easy and fulfilling. And other people, when you get there, they're going to look at you and say, how do you do it? It's so easy for you. And you'll say, I don't really know. It just kind of happens. Tip 3, bite your tongue. Us projectors are the kings and queens of unsolicited advice. It's easy to pull in information that is unspoken because of this focus and absorbing aura that we have. We're consistently picking up on other people's emotions, their thoughts, their frustration, and we call it out without really realizing what we're doing. Well, in those moments, what you are doing is you are throwing your pearls to pigs. They will not appreciate what it is that you're going to say, and it is wasting your energy in attempting to say it and creating internal bitterness for them not actually listening. There's often this feeling of I told you so energy around projectors. Now, if you've been in Human Design for all of 2 seconds, you've learned that the strategy for projectors is to learn to wait for the invitation. And yet, having an invitation to share advice is not a free-for-all where you can just blurt anything out. Let's see what Barbara has to say about this one.
You don't mess with people's psyche unless they ask. And then you have to see if they're really asking and how deep you can go. And when you go deep, you do it through a gradient. It's like skating on ice. I'm a northerner, so when we skate on ice, you begin to feel a crack.
Right.
And then you know, ooh, there's something here that's not going to give. So let me just back and skate in this area here, and then maybe come back, a little time. But I think the most important thing for projectors is to work with a gradient of questions, because they're so happy someone's seeing them that they blah, 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 blah. They give too much information. There's no reciprocity. And see, when you're a projector to a generator, it's not that I'm the projector and I'm telling you something. You're learning from them too.
This concept of reciprocity is so key, because you're consistently absorbing the energy of that other person and can consistently pick up new things. But you need to be able to feel, okay, is this invitation no longer valid? Do I need to stop at this point? When you follow this rule, you're going to find that you have a lot less resistance in your life and more ease in interaction with those around you. Tip 4, find projector friends. I live in Austin, Texas, and I have had the benefit of being able to attend a lot of projector-only meetups. These have not happened anywhere else in the world, and for some reason here we have a huge community of projectors that meet up. And I have been so grateful to experience this, because there is such a power to being in a room with other projectors. And so I highly suggest finding the projectors in your life. Pull endless amounts of charts until you finally find that person that is in your life that is a projector. There is a juiciness there that you're going to want to double down on, and here's why. When you see another projector, you are seeing yourself. And that's because us projectors, we don't have the ability to see ourselves. We're constantly looking out and asking, who are you? And when you're looking at another projector, you start to see things like they self-censor. They are holding back their wisdom. They're thinking they're too much. And you internally feel they're not too much. I want to know more, and you're leaning in. And in doing that, you start to see that other people actually will feel that way about yourself as well. You start to accept that what feels like too much to you is actually the advice that you have to give to other people that they deeply value and cherish. More on that in the last tip, so stick with me. Your projector friends are also going to be the people that will hold space for you to be able to process something out loud, and then you can hold space for them as well. Projectors have a tendency to need to talk things out a lot more than other types, and other types don't have the capacity to be able to hold space for it in the same way that projector to projectors will be able to. I'm telling you, if you prioritize getting around other projectors and having a relationship like that, and or in the research of looking up different people's charts, you've realized that your best friend has been a projector this whole time, things are going to start to click in a whole different way. And then moving forward, you're going to be able to continue learning about yourself by learning about them. Tip 5, seek success, not money. As projectors, we are here to experience success, but success is different than financial gain. A lot of people equate those two words, and I want to break down and really reveal what success as a projector looks like and how to apply this principle in your life to have more ease. Success is the experience of interaction with someone else. Your wisdom landed and it feels so easy and so good, and it took no effort. That is success.
Can I add something? I had a day a few months ago where I was with a projector friend who we live in different states. We're in at St. Pete Beach, which is one of my favorite places. Around sunset, we sitting on the beach having a beverage, and it was near sunset, and we walked out and we were in the water. The sunset was coming down, and we were having these deep, meaningful conversations about life, right? And we just looked at each other, and I was like, this is success. And she was like, oh yeah. It was just that moment of everything is so perfect. I couldn't have constructed a better moment, right?
There's a sense of ease to it.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in the world where you are chasing that next income milestone and wanting to make more or keep up with the Joneses. And the reality is often as projectors, when we're going after that pursuit, it often leads to a place of misalignment. Now, I am not saying that you can't have money as a projector. I certainly am someone that is cultivating abundance in my life. However, the way to go about that process is not by chasing money, but rather by chasing this feeling of success. Success is our signpost to know that we are on track. And so when you seek this feeling of success in interaction with other people, it stops you from chasing areas where you don't feel recognized and wasting your energy on something that's never going to actually work out for you, and shifts your path to where people do see you and the wisdom and genius that you have to bring to the table. Ultimately, ease is evidence of alignment, not laziness. Let go of the hustle, let go of trying to prove yourself, embrace a life of ease as a projector, and you will find success. Hooray! You're still here watching this video. That means you are my people and you got value from it. Please be sure to click like and put your favorite tip or the one you're going to implement in the comments section below, because when you type it out, you make a commitment to yourself and energetically begin to pull in ease into your life. And if you want to watch a video on what it is to be a projector in business and how to go about that, I recommend watching this video on the screen next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.